Tesla is getting some love in Alabama, Model X gets a Falcon Wing safety update, and people still haven't learned how to autopilot. Here's your weekend edition of Tesla Tidbits for August 19th, 2016. In a turnaround from yesterday's lead story where Tesla is fighting to sell an estate, Alabama is at least so far welcoming them with open arms. Electrek reports that Tesla is attempting to begin direct sale of vehicles in Alabama, a state where its only presence is 3 superchargers. Existing law in the state, like many other states, prohibits automakers from direct sale to customers. However, Senate Bill 22, introduced by Senator Tom Whatley, would, quote, allow a manufacturer of alternative fuel vehicles to sell and lease its vehicles directly to the public, end quote. The bill has been sent to the Tourism and Marketing Committee for review. What a refreshing change to see lawmakers encouraging competition instead of stifling it. Now granted, this is only the introduction of a bill, and this is not yet law. We've seen pro-Tesla bills get bogged down and fail before, most recently the California sales tax bill that would prevent out-of-state purchasers from being responsible for California's sales tax if they wish to pick up at the factory. Here's hoping this bill doesn't suffer the same fate, and our friends in Alabama can buy and service their cars unimpeded in the near future. Teslarati reports that a software update has went out addressing a couple of issues in Model X. The latest 7.1 software update, version 2.30.61, has addressed the close all doors function from the key fob, as well as how the auto-presenting driver's door works. The update now disables the close all doors function from the key fob by default due to user complaints that certain situations have caused unexpected closure of doors, resulting in injury or near injury of passengers. In a hat tip to the company, the option is at least still available, it's just defaulted to disabled for safety reasons. In other words, you know what you're doing if you enable it, so be careful. The option can be found in the Settings menu, under Vehicle, on the middle right side. The other issue addressed in the operation of the auto-presenting driver's door. In some instances, it's not a good feature to have the door open when approached. The change in the behavior now sees the door presentation disabled for 30 seconds if the doors are locked via the key fob. This is useful if you're going to get into your car in a busy area and don't want the door to open before you reach the car. Simply tap your fob to prevent the issue. And finally, we'll simply touch on the latest Autopilot-related crash where a driver wasn't paying attention as they were supposed to. Electrek reports the driver was on a patch of familiar road on August 7th when it veered off the road and smashed a guardrail, making the car a total loss. The driver told Bloomberg, quote, I used Autopilot all the time on that stretch of highway, but now I feel like this is extremely dangerous. It gives you a false sense of security. I'm not ready to be a test pilot. It missed the curve and drove straight into the guardrail. The car didn't stop. It actually continued to accelerate after the first impact into the guardrail, end quote. First and foremost here, people, it's not autonomous yet. Say it with me. I must be in control of my car, and if I am not, and I crash, it's still my fault. The end of the statement here is a bit disconcerting, though, as this is not the first person to pop airbags in a car with Autopilot engaged, and the car allegedly continues on its merry way. I would think it's sound logic that acceleration should cease if airbags deploy, and I would hope that Tesla engineers would see this and resolve it soon. I've reached out to Elon with a tweet, but we all know how likely it is for him to respond to that. You can find all the links to the full stories in the description of the show. If you get some value out of the show, please consider supporting the podcast at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. Any and all support goes directly to my Model 3 fund and is most appreciated. Thanks as usual to my super patron John Waltower for his support. If you've got no spare change, though, it's no worries. You can still show support without spending a dime through positive reviews, likes, and subscriptions on services such as YouTube, iTunes, and Google Play, or simply by spreading word of the show to other Tesla lovers. If you have questions or feedback for me, you can reach me via email by messaging podcast@teslatidbits.com or on Twitter @TeslaTidbits. That's it for today. I'll see you back here again Monday. Have a good weekend, and until then, keep it charged and hit the road.